Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another off-the-cuff chat with me, FPL Mez. I'm so sorry that I was running a bit late. Looks like I had a little bit of issue with my phone connecting up to my OBS, and then my Bluetooth connection as well. So I updated my phone where I usually have spaces appearing on the screen. So I haven't been able to get that connected for some reason. So I had an operating system update and all of a sudden it's not working. So I'm going to have to just work out what's gone wrong and why it's not working. So apologies for that. I really hope you guys can hear me on Spaces though, because I did have some issues with Bluetooth. So just give me a thumbs up on Spaces if you can. So apologies for that, and thank you for joining me this evening and or afternoon and morning. So I've been trying to sort of find the right time for these streams where it's convenient for me, especially because these are very much, just off the cuff, and I don't want to, necessarily put that much sort of scheduling time involved in it, because I often can't really do that, just because of my life, my work schedule, that kind of thing as well. So I really, really do appreciate you being there and joining me for this stream. So thank you once again. Great to have you guys on YouTube. I'm just going to do a couple of shout outs. Thank you for being patient. So great to see you, Tien, FPL Planner. Great to see you as well, Getty FPL. Im, great to see you, Mohan. Fantastic to see you again. Yelena, so happy that you are able to join today. So yeah, great to have you live. Hope all is well, hope work is well. Great to have you, Kevin, as well. So thank you guys for being there. So what I'm going to do today is give you a bit of an update where things are at, where I'm at, where things are at in general, and talk you through my comeback trail. So I started calling it a comeback trail a bit more recently, but it was a bit of a roller coaster of a season that I've been having. It's been incredibly wild, really, really choppy, like especially with just a terrible start to the season. So for those that are joining for the first time or haven't sort of, joined any of my off-the-cuff conversations, these are very much impromptu, one-sided when it comes to spaces. So I apologize in advance. I can't really take you up on the if you ask to be a speaker. So apologies for that. These are really impromptu. It's a bit of a video diary of my season. So it's my first season doing this as well. It's gone from Spaces to YouTube and then a bit of both and just smooshing them together. Really, really do sort of appreciate the community where I'm able to share my journey as well. So it's a huge shout out to all of you as well. That's basically it from what this is and how it's been. And I can't believe we are going into game week 36. I was about to say 37, and had a mild panic as well, because game week 37, and I think just in time, I will arrive in Tokyo with about 2 hours in hand to find out what the hell is going on for game week 37. So I can't be thinking about that right now, because that's a week and a bit away. I haven't even started packing yet. So mild panic with all of that upcoming as well. So, but no, we are in game week, we're heading into game week 36. But what I was hoping to do is give you a bit of a rundown of how my last couple of game weeks have been. I think the last off the cuff that I did was in game week 33. So it's been a couple of weeks. I've had a really good couple of weeks as well in that time. Hey Katya, lovely to have you. Thank you for joining. And I can't wait to chat about my comeback as well. So let me actually give you a bit of an update on generally how things are going. So look, I bought a new label maker. So with my travels this time around, going to Japan especially, I'm going to be packing super, super light. And so I thought I might need a label maker for the shampoo that I'm going to take out in a little container, and lots of other sort of anyway, I do a lot of travel in general, and I do a lot of flat lays and things like that when it comes to travel, usually on my Instagram, which is not necessarily open to everyone, but I do share a lot of the travel gear that I'm using or things that I'm using. And this time round, I am trying out this label maker, which is fantastic, by the way. So cute, so simple, really pocket sized. Not that I'm taking this on my travels, but I'm going to be making a shit ton of labels for my travels. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Last week though, I was in Canberra. So this was a really funny thing that happened. So there I was thinking I will try and organise a Sydney meet for last Saturday for the matches. Oh well, at least for the West Ham Liverpool match, and it just so happens that. A good friend and FPL manager over here in Australia, Point Break. So Andrew was heading over to Canberra for the weekend, and he had set up a meetup with the Canberra crew. And you can see over here. So I went from organising a Sydney meet to deciding that, well, I was going to be in Canberra for work anyway, and decided to cancel the Sydney meets and just join the Canberra meetup. So this is us ahead of the West Ham Liverpool match, and you can see I'm smiling loads at the moment. Only because the Liverpool match hadn't started, so I didn't really, I'm not even going to actually, I'm not even going to talk about it, but I had such a great time catching up with FPL Planner, Point Break in the middle there, and FPL Inzaghi, Ryan over there on the left as well. So yeah, really, really good opportunity to catch up with the guys over in Canberra, and we thought it was going to be really, really cold, and it was outside, but it was very warm inside, and yeah, it was just a nice evening of catching up on FPL. I made some wild transfers that evening. I think I took a -8 going into game week 35. And I will chat to you about those in just a moment as well. So, yeah, actually, let's just jump there. Let's just jump there right now. So, game week 33, let me just give you a quick rundown of how the last couple of game weeks have been. I got my first 100 of the season. So, yeah, I've gone from I think it was around 425k or so in game week 33. Well, before game week 33 started, and yeah, really pleased to have got 100 in game week 33. So, was this 33? Yeah, it was 33, yeah. So at the end of game week 32 even, I was, about 425k roughly. Actually, I'll have a look at my game week rank just to kind of show you. About 422k roughly. And it was so nice to get 100. It was my first 100 of the season. Much of what I've been doing is just eyeing up the mini leagues. So I've been focusing entirely on my mini leagues. I think after I got to about 600k, 700k or so, and I was like, oh shit, man, this is going to be really, really hard. So I don't know if I want to, be too concerned about my rank overall. Let me just try and win my family mini league, which was the priority, and then try and sort of stay in the top sort of 20 of the Australian Elite League, which I was very, very happy to have entered into last season, having sort of, topped the Australian League. So yeah, it was really good to kind of join that league. And I still remember what Tien's FPL Planner had said, which was, you don't want to be a one season wonder when it comes to having a good season. So yeah, and I was like, oh shit, that kind of stuck with me as well. So I was like, you know what, forget about the rank overall and just focus on picking good players, just doing all the usual things in general, but focusing a little bit more on my mini league. So I started having a look at and borderline stalking those that were above me and around me, and and yeah, that's definitely worked out well for me. So I got 100 in game week 33. And then I was very conscious about going into game week 34. So this is where we had the double, and so yeah, look, again, a really good game week for me. So I played my free hit, and yeah, I think there's been a massive sort of debate around free hit 29 versus free hit 34, and look, I wildcarded in game week 28, and so for me that was a good time to wildcard. And yeah, it just made sense for me because I think I had about 5 players going into game week 29, which was a big, which was a blank game week, and so yeah, I didn't really want to play my free hit then, and my team was not looking that great in game week for game week 28 anyway. So I ended up playing my wild card a little bit early, and I had loads of people, like loads of FPL managers, especially on X, reaching out saying, "Oh, why did you play a wild card so early?" And it was like, well, I know that there is a bit of a chip strategy and set sort of, time frames where you're playing your wild card and your free hit and your triple captaincy and, so forth. And I think for me, it was just the right time. And I think that's the one thing that we forget sometimes when we're looking at X and seeing what other people are doing. It's really easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing and what the template team looks like, and having fear of missing out, and trust me, I have plenty of fear of missing out. And so even when I was playing my free hit, I went with Jota, and back of my mind I'm thinking I should have probably gone Diaz after I'd sort of gone with Jota. But look, Jota only played one game, but he still scored 12, and which was more than what my captain, Salah did. So really happy with that. So glad I went with Ben White. That was a huge, huge score from Ben White, and Mateta did so well as well. And like I was thinking I should go all doublers in my free hit as well. And so many people, again, so many people were saying, why would you have a single game week player? And it's like, well, I don't think there's a set rule about that. Of course, you want to maximize on the opportunity to get as many points as possible, and so you do want to try and have as many game week, like double game week players as you can. But that doesn't mean that you have to do that explicitly, if that makes sense. So, if you think that a good single game week player is going to do well, and in my case, I wanted to have Watkins in my side, and so I threw Watkins in there as well. It was a shame about Henderson, what happened there. And you can see like my bench points as well with Brereton Diaz and Mikalenko there as well. And Saar getting a clean sheet there. Oh, actually, it wasn't a clean sheet. I think it was just 2 matches that Wolves had as well. And just having more points than Henderson. But yeah, look, overall, really good free hit for me. Gave me a massive rank boost. And I think that's the thing that I loved about this game week. So game week 34 and game week 33. I got a 50 to 53% rank boost in those 2 game weeks, which is huge. So yeah, really pleased with having 2 very good game weeks to give me that boost, and just playing a little bit differential, playing it a little bit risky, trying to kind of not go entirely differential with the templates. I've been trying to stick with at least sort of those 4 or 5 key players in the team. And then going a little bit differential with players like Watkins in this case, and Jota in this case, and White. A lot of people went Saliba and Gabriel. So yeah, it was good to change it up a little bit. So going into game week 35, so I actually did some wild things in game week 35, and it's so typical. Hey PSB, great to have you in the chat as well. Thanks for being there. I had, obviously I was at the meetup, and when you're at a meetup and you're drinking, it's so easy to get swayed. No, I'm joking. I didn't entirely get swayed, but I was a little bit tentative about which players I wanted to bring in. And so I think the transfers that I made, actually, let me just check. I can't even remember what I did. There you go. So what I did, I did a free transfer from Neto to Vicario. Now, the reason why I went Vicario is because I wasn't convinced about having double Chelsea defence. And so, going back to my team, I had, I think I think I knew that Gusto was out, so I decided not to go there. But also I was like, oh, do I really want a double Chelsea defence moving forward? Because there's another double coming up. And so I wasn't convinced about having 2 going into the second double, so in 37. So I decided not to, not to go there. But I did do Salah to Foden, and Foden didn't play, so that was a bit of a shit move, from that point of view. I did Muniz to Jackson, which was again a very last minute move, and I have to admit I was thinking about the wildcard template that most were on. So for game week 35, many of you did wildcard, and so I was a little bit conscious about which players you were going on the wild card. And so I decided, to play the Jackson lottery. So it's now the Jackson lottery because I don't have Darwin in the team. But I feel like players like Darwin and Jackson, where they just get so many chances, you almost need to just buy the lottery to hope that they get some goals. In hindsight, who could I have gone with? I'm not sure. Look, the game week's not over. So it's possible that, look, it is possible that Jackson will get some points, she says in some hope. And I'll take a big gulp of my whiskey as well, because I really don't know if Jackson's going to get the points, but let's see. But in all honesty, it is about playing that, probability game. And so in my case, I was like, well, let me just bring in Jackson. He might get a goal, he might not. He might get any return, might not. But in 37 as well, might get some returns. So yeah, I'd rather just take the chance on having more matches that my player is going to play than not, basically. The other option was to go Watkins, and so yeah, look, I'm sad that I didn't go Watkins, but yeah, I mean, I can't remember how many points he got. I think he blanked this game week as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, look, so far it's been a really good game week. Guardiola has probably been the best transfer I made. Just kind of going back when I brought in Guardiola. I think I brought him in. Yeah, so I brought him in game week 33. That was one of my transfers then, and he's just been returning since then. So he got 12 points in game week 33, and then obviously I didn't have him in my free hit. And then 15 pointer as well. So yeah, it's been absolutely huge just having Guardiola there, and so far this game week, those that didn't wildcard probably did have Arsenal attackers, and obviously this was the game week where Saka decided to turn up. Look, I wouldn't say he's gone big, but having a double-digit return is huge. And I think Saka, for me, around my rank, he must have been, I don't know, 30 something percent, 40% also owned. So all of a sudden he became a bit of a differential. And so, yeah, really good game week for me. Gordon was a huge, Gordon and Isak, in fact, just huge returns from them. Both of them has been brilliant as well. Just a really good fixture. And again, I didn't want to triple up. I mean, I've tripled up on Chelsea at the moment, but I didn't want to triple up on Spurs. So yeah, let's see what happens in the final match of this game week. Hopefully the run will sort of continue, and so far I think if when I sort of checked live FPL, actually I will have a quick look right now. I think when I checked live FPL, I was about 25%, 23% green arrow with a current rank of 98,249, which I'm really happy with. And this is probably the first time that I've put my rank on the video. On the stream this time, mostly because we've only got a couple of game weeks left, and I wanted to share share where I've come from and where I'm at the moment. So to just share my just season history so far. So as you can see, I was probably about 14 game weeks ago, 15 game weeks ago, I was 1.1 mil. And so in that time, I've been sort of gradually, even game week 23, I was still like 965k. So, it's still pretty high. So look, in that time, I think it was around that sort of time I was talking to FPL Chatbox, so Ryan, about focusing on my mini leagues and trying not to overthink things and think too hard about where my rank is. Hey FPL Crisis, great to see you. I know, and it's really funny because Ashley FPL Crisis did message and say don't drink an FPL, and I can't remember who else said the same thing to me as well, and I was like, yeah, kind of thing. Anyway, so look, it's been a couple of really good game weeks for me. I did sort of have a couple of red arrows there, not huge red arrows as you can see. But still, but I think just kind of turning it around has been a really good, happy part of my season, and as you can see, like where I started, I don't know how far down it goes on the screen. There we go. I didn't have a great start to the season. I think the highest I was is about 4.3 mil, which is pretty high given, I don't know what I expected. I think I just felt, and perhaps a slightly sort of privileged kind of thinking as well, where I finished 2.5k last season, and so I just thought, yeah, it'll be fine this season, surely. But I have to admit, it's really forced me to play differently. Number one, it's forced me to really sort of consider what sort of things I found important and not so important. Like, is it really important for me to follow a template or is it not? That kind of stuff. So, and how to take risks as well. Like, what's a good, sensible, calculated risk versus being very sort of careless and reckless. And I have to admit, my last couple of transfers have been a little bit reckless. And actually, if I show you my live, I don't know if it will come up on here. Yeah. Okay. So if I show you where it gives you the transfers, this is where, it's absolutely hilarious. So my transfers, my transfers have totaled to -12 because Maniz returned. And well, I think it was just Maniz, and then I took a -8. So yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. I actually, you know what? I haven't seen my second chance league rank. I'll have a look at that in a moment. But it's so funny that my original sort of team, not my transfers in, but the team that I had from the previous, game week, or game week 34, or 33 even, because 34 was a free hit for me. I love how that team did reasonably well, like really well. So to be on a green arrow, despite sort of taking a -8, is just a luxury. So I'm really happy about that. But like I said, I started playing very differently, focusing on my mini leagues, not overthinking things, just chasing. Like, it's just been a really good chase. Like, I've really enjoyed chasing, and I was joking about sort of giving Late Riser for a run for his money as well, just because, yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a late risey type of, season for me so far. I did share this, so I'll just share this again, and which is where like my comeback trail came from. So occasionally I like to look at FPL Optimized, and I had a look on there, and I have been looking at it sort of different parts of the season as well. So just kind of jumping in to see what was predicted for me, and where I'm at the moment. And as you can see there, the predicted is, it was sort of expecting me to be a little bit sort of, negative variance there. Fair enough. But you can see what I realized, which is absolutely awful. I can't believe how bad, my, I'm not going to talk about negative variance and, what that means, and, just going too far on that. And, but, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And so, yeah, I've had a bit of negative variance there, and so yeah, with this, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun, and so just stuck some emojis on there, and then yeah, there was a couple of others that followed, and did something similar as well. So yeah, really pleased that. It felt like I did sort of parachute all the way down to rock bottom, and found a boat and carried on going downstream, and found this amazing waves and waterfall, and sort of realized that I should probably make my way back up. And so, yes, look, it's been really nice to just make that climb. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun making the climb as well. And a good challenge for myself, I think, like, because my first season I was playing, crazy, just kind of taking a shit ton of hits, and not really thinking about my chip strategy or anything like that in my first season. And my second season, just having a really great start, playing very sort of conservative, and just being very careful about every single move that I was making, not taking many hits. But I think I feel like I got an entirely different flavor this season, where, I started off awful and then I had to work hard for, gaining that rank and that momentum as well. And so it's really difficult. I found this season very, very challenging. I'll leave my sort of season review till the end of the season. But I found the season very, very challenging from keeping up with the template, going differential, captaincy picks. My captaincy picks have been awful. If you've followed any of my retrospectives I've done in the past, I'll probably do a similar sort of retrospective and just have a look at the last sort of 10 game weeks, and then, give a bit of a rundown of what's worked well, what hasn't worked well, and what could I have done differently. And these are just really good notes and good way to kind of look back and sort of consider some of those moves that you've made, actions you've taken, and hopefully you can channel that into the following season. So if I show you my latest graph, you can see it's slightly different. The lines are finally meeting. So obviously they met right at the beginning of the season, and then it just went wild. But the lines finally crossed again, and this time, it's nice that I was predicted to be slightly lower. I'm getting a little bit of positive variance there. So yeah, really happy with that. And of course the game week hasn't finished, so I'm really counting on a Jackson goal to just kind of give me, not that Jackson is a differential for me, actually. I'm not even sure who is I think maybe Vicario is a differential for me, so let's see what happens. But I'm really hoping that will increase a little bit more, because my game week 36 is going to be pretty damn boring. So anyway, that's where I'm at the moment. Really happy, like I said, that I've had a couple of good game weeks. It's made a huge amount of difference to my rank, especially. Lovely to be up here, making it into the top 100k for the first time this season as well. A few people asked me at the beginning of the season, actually, what I was expecting from a target or a goal. And honestly speaking, I think the goal that I had in mind was around 250k when I started the season. Now that I'm sort of, towards the end, well, I think halfway through, I thought, okay, maybe 250k is not going to be achievable. In fact, I sort of made up my mind that I'd be happy with a 500k finish, and that would be okay. I'll just settle for whatever I can get. Yeah, I think now I would love to be aiming for, 50 to 75k. I'd be really, really happy with that if I can manage that. There's only a couple of game weeks to go, so it will be a bit of a challenge. And when I show you my team selection, you will see what I mean with it being a bit of a challenge as well. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll try and share my bus team on the on Spaces as well. So if you're listening on Spaces, you can have a look at what my bus team looks like. Yeah, so that's how the season's going so far. Like I said, pleased where things are at. Hoping for a really good end to this game week as well. So as I just have a look at my game week 36, I will quickly post my my team on Spaces as well. But while I do that, I'd love to hear from you, those that are in on YouTube in the chat. Firstly, please do like and subscribe if this is the type of sort of content that you enjoy. Really would love for you to subscribe. I'm hoping to do more next season as well. Yeah, I haven't sort of thought about guests or anything like that. In fact, I've not been able to have many guests come on recently just because my workload's been absolutely insane. But next week is going to be the last week that I'm in Sydney before I travel. So I would love to get a guest back on perhaps next week before I travel for double game week 37. And then I'll probably do another stream or two while I'm traveling around Japan. And then, end of season review as well is the plan at the moment. But yeah, let me know, like, how's your game week going so far? Any sort of like curveballs for you? Did you make any crazy transfers where you're thinking maybe you shouldn't have, like similar to me where you took a minus? Did you take any hits? What sort of hits did you take? I'm on a, like I say, with that hit and the difference between the players that I took out, I'm on a minus 12, which is insane. So I'll just post this bus team. And thank you all for being in the chat. It's really, really great to have you all there, especially like from a engagement point of view. It's just very, very much appreciated. So looking at my game week 36, so I'll just kind of see, so Manon, Shows we must keep on going. Yeah, yeah. Even two game weeks are enough to turn a season around. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, really annoying that it's taken a long time. I feel like I need a few more game weeks on top of what we've got to just go a little bit further. But I'm pretty happy and satisfied with where things will end up eventually. I mean, look, even if it's in the top 100k where I'm at the moment, I'd be very, very happy with that. My first season was, top 200k. So yeah, this is better than my first season. But yeah, I don't think I'll get close to my second season this year, unfortunately. So look, from a game week 36 perspective, if we jump there, so I've got Vicario playing. In goal, I've got Areola on bench. I am tempted. I'm not sure actually with this. I'd love to kind of hear from you. Like, would you play Vicario or play Areola? Now, the reason why I'm even considering playing Vicario is because of the save points, and Vicario is decent when it comes to bonus points. So I wouldn't mind, giving that a shot. So yeah, maybe go with Vicario. Areola could be good, but I don't know if there's going to be any clean sheets there. Regardless, there's not going to be any clean sheets. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Hey Katya, so I'm currently on 52. Guardiola has saved my game week. Yes, same. I transferred out Gordon for Johnson at the last minute, feeling like I needed a differential. So I'm sweating that little bit. Yeah, you just never know. Chelsea, I'm really sorry, Chelsea fans. Chelsea have been awful in defence, and they are down to the bare bones in defence. So hopefully Johnson will get you a return. Johnson's been a really, I think, like, there was a lot of he's a really good pick. He's just a really good pick. He just plays really well. But it's interesting that, like, Richarlison's back. I wonder if he's going to get start. I only have one, Spurs attack, so I feel like I don't have enough going into double game week 37. So yeah, maybe. And as you can see, I've got Udogi on my bench that I definitely need to transfer out for 37. So look, my back line, I've got Gabriel against Bournemouth, I've got Reguilon against Fulham, and then Guardiola against Wolves. I'm happy with that. Like, ideally, obviously, I would have had Gusto playing, but yeah, look, it is what it is. Like with Gusto, I don't know if I'm transferring him out in 37. I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked what the latest news is, whether he's been in training or not. Will he play tomorrow? Yeah, I'm not sure, because I think let's just see what it says over here. So it says, okay, it's saying like 25% chance of playing, but yeah, so very likely not playing tomorrow or tonight for those that are in the UK. But yeah, tomorrow morning for us in Australia. Yeah, so very likely he's not playing tomorrow, but probably will keep for 37 at the very least. If not, I'll have 2 free transfers, because right now this team, I'm basically rolling a transfer there. So in my midfield, I've got Saka against Bournemouth, Foden Wolves, and then I've got Gordon away against Burnley, Palmer against West Ham, and then Son I'm playing against Liverpool. I've seen a lot of managers bench Son against Liverpool, which is really interesting, and I'm really curious, like, what you think about my bench kind of dilemma that I've got right now. So before I go there, I've got Haaland, and I've got captain on Haaland at the moment, and I've got Isak playing, and on my first bench I've got Nicholas Jackson. Now, I don't feel good about benching Nicholas Jackson, and despite what you might think about Nicholas Jackson, it's just you just don't know, right? But do I play Gordon against Burnley, who has interestingly has very, very not so favourable stats against away opponents? So yeah, I'm not too sure about playing Gordon. Sounds crazy to say that. It's just Gordon's such a good player, and in comparison to Jackson, it's Gordon all day long. But I think Gordon away, with his current sort of stats, I'm not sure about that. Jackson, awful, unfortunately, which is why I've sort of decided to go there on the bench at the moment. But yeah, I'm not sure. But then I've seen Son on a lot of benches as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, would you be benching Gordon, or would you bench Son, or is it fine what I've done and benching Jackson there? Thank you, Katu. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in as well. Really great to have you. Um, Planner. Yeah. Benching Jackson is the best feeling in the world. Wish I owned so I could bench. Don't you dare. Oh dear. Yeah, so I'm just looking at Spaces chat as well. So Reedy, thank you so much for being there. Really appreciate you joining. So KDB in for Salah for you this week. Fantastic move. I feel like KDB, surely he's going to play maximum minutes now going into the last couple of game weeks of the season. So yeah, I think that's a really good transfer. I went Foden mostly because of FOMO. So, but otherwise, yeah, I was like eyeing up KDB, and then I was like, oh, his Foden's EO is so high. I think it will be better if I just don't go there and just, yeah. So I decided not to go KDB, but yeah, really good shout with KDB though. Yeah, absolutely, Elena. Yeah, blows my mind seeing the difference in Gordon's playing at home versus away, and this is the only reason why I'm even slightly remotely considering benching Gordon versus Jackson. But interesting. Like yeah, like who would you bench? Would you bench Son, Gordon, or Jackson is fine to bench? I'd love to know in the chat or on Spaces chat as well. Like if you think that I'm making a crazy mistake. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to think that about Jackson, but let's just be realistic. If you could bench one of them, which one would it be? Yeah, so look, that's where I'm basically at the moment. Like I said, I'm on currently 66 points for this game week. Really, really good game week so far. But going into game week, 36, I'm a little bit unsure as well. Tien, you're currently benching Gordon, but who are you playing ahead of Gordon? Because it's obviously not Jackson. But yeah, so I'm not too sure what to do there. So I'll probably end up making a very last minute decision. So we are hoping to have Sydney meets on Saturday this week. So for this game week with the Arsenal Bournemouth match that's on Saturday. Yeah, really good timing for us. It's like 9:30 matches, 9:30 p.m. matches for us over here. So it's a really good opportunity to catch up and see the gang over here in Sydney as well, especially like before I travel. Like, I'm not going to be able to see everyone before the end of the season and for sort of post-season catch-ups, at least not until July when I'm back or something. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hey Q, great to see you. Not sure if I should do a -4 to bring in Hoyland for Morris or just start Muniz. You know what? In hindsight, I would have just started Muniz. I brought in Jackson ahead of just starting Muniz, and yeah, here I am. I don't know. I think Hoyland's an interesting one actually. Like I noticed that he's not getting as many minutes as I thought he would as well. So I think he's getting subbed quite early. Well, I say quite early, but after 60 minutes, but not sort of full 90 he's playing. So yeah, not sure. Because I think, I mean, who's Fulham playing? Not sure. I feel like it could work. And Q, you've had some really good transfers in and some really good picks that you've been making as well. So yeah, like I reckon that could be pretty decent. Tien, so Son, Bruno, Palmer, Foden, Haaland, Isak, Watkins are my front seven. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. That's fair. I think given who you're starting and playing up there, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because you're playing three up front in that scenario with a strong midfield as well. So, and I guess Bruno being the differential, or differential from like the template. But I guess the wildcard template had a lot of at least a few Man United players anyway. So yeah, no, fair enough. Karen, great to see you. Thoughts on Arsenal for non-BB managers? Yeah, yeah, Arsenal's great to have. Yeah, why not? They're keeping clean sheets, and it's great to see. I just think that Arsenal have got a real shoe in for winning the league, and they're just going to be on it. If anything, even more on it, and they're even more tuned in to sort of playing well. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Peter, great to see you. I'm on my wildcard. Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, Guardiol, Porro, Gusto, Maguire, midfield, Saka, Foden. Oh, wow. Yeah, team looks really good. Team looks really good. Jackson, see, I don't know. As a Jackson owner now, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, yeah, I think caution, but also it's a lottery. It's a lottery with Jackson. You just hope for the best. But no, your midfield looks really good. Saka, Foden, Gordon, Palmer, and Son. Yeah, I really like it. Good wild card. Curran again. KDB, Son, Palmer, Foden, Wood, Isak, Haaland, my front seven, benching Gordon. Oh, wow, benching Gordon. See, now this makes me think maybe I should play Gordon and just bench Jackson. But then it's like, well, what did I bring Jackson in for? And West Ham have been super leaky, and it's a home match for Chelsea. I'd love to hear from Yelena about what she thinks about playing Jackson. Let me know what you think, Yelena, because you're a Chelsea supporter, so I'd love to get your perspective on that. Hey Marcus, great to see you. Great to have you in the chat. Best defenders to bring in. I've 4 who are injured. Oh my God, defenders. Jeez. You know what? So the struggle is real. I've got Gusto and Udogi sitting on my bench at the moment, and I haven't, made the defense, moves just yet. I'm going to be rolling in game week 36. For game week 36, but it's very likely that I'm making defensive transfers. Actually, I can't even believe I'm making this many defensive transfers this season. I've gone from, I think I've made like 2 goalkeeper transfers as well. I've then had, lots of defensive transfers. It's just ridiculous. I feel like I've probably made more defensive transfers than I expected. But I would be tempted by a new game week 37. Yeah, there's double coming up there. So that wouldn't be such a bad pick. But also, like, Marcus, I know how you feel about United players. So maybe like a Maguire, or would you go like a Dallo as well? Because again, it's like there's a double coming up as well. So yeah, it's an option. It's an option. Hey Ryan, great to have you. Thanks for being here. And I don't want to bench Gordon, to be honest. Might just bench Son because I need to chase a mini league. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's a really tough one, isn't it? I feel like so many are going to be benching Gordon. I almost am tempted to play him and just bench Jackson against West Ham. It might be the best play actually, just because I feel like he might become a differential. I've stayed quiet because we're absolutely awful. FML. Okay. No, that's fair enough. I just thought it would be great to buy the ticket. And also I was drinking. So yeah, that was bound to happen. I don't own Jackson, but would probably bench Gordon over him. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I think this is probably going to be my last sort of, last minute move or something. And hopefully without too much alcohol in me as well, if we're doing a Sydney meets as well. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Agreed. Chelsea attack is not awful. Jackson's finishing is awful. Absolutely. We're hearing a lot of Palmer FC at the moment. So yeah, fair enough. No, I completely agree. It's like his finishing has been awful. Happy to have bought the ticket though, and hope for the best. So Marcus, wow, 4 hits on the cards for you. Awful way to end the season. You're having a phenomenal season. Just remind me what rank you're at the moment. I think you're in like the top 100. No, 1000k. I think you're still in 1000k. You're having a phenomenal season. Like it's really really good. Um, yeah, I hope you're still there. Yeah, sorry about that. Maguire bullet header coming in. Absolutely, that's very likely what's going to happen. I'm just going to check the chat on Spaces, make sure that I'm not missing anything over here as well. No, not so much. Brilliant. All right, so Ryan, if you have Jackson, then it's an easy decision. I wish I had Jackson, so I won't have to make a benching decision. I think maybe it's inevitable. I think maybe I would do that. Although Yelena thinks that I should play Jackson ahead of Gordon. You know what? The data really does suggest to just not go there with Gordon for the away, the away fixture. But it's going to be last minute. It's going to be completely last minute for me. I'll probably go Gusto to Burn if he's still injured. Jackson is like his twin, our fellow Liverpool player Nunes. Yeah, don't I know it? And this season I have had both. Actually, you know what? Having said that, I did have Jackson very early in the season and I rage transferred him out. And I was trying to remember why and what I was thinking and, all of that. So I went back to the retrospective that I did for the first 8 game weeks of the season and had a look at what I'd written about Jackson. And then, and obviously this was after I brought Jackson in. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? So here I am doing all the hard work to make it easier and simpler for me later so that I don't make stupid decisions like this. But look, he might score tomorrow, who knows, or tonight. But anyway, I should have gone back and looked at my retro board, but no, I was out drinking and with a bunch of FPL managers in Canberra and decided to go there. Captain Jackson, here we go. No, like just no. Wow, yeah, so 1.2k, that's fantastic, Marcus. Well done. That's really, really good rank to be on. Hopefully Jackson's performance against Spurs will make your decision easier for you. I have a funny feeling that's exactly what's going to happen because I feel like the universe has a really good way of fucking with my decision-making ability when it comes to stuff like this. And so, what's going to happen? He's probably going to get a goal, and I'm then going to think, oh shit, how can I bench him after he's got a goal? So let's see what that happens. I shouldn't even be wishing that he doesn't get a return now because I do want those returns. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Yes. So, if you don't know about the Never Buy Again list, so TN Planner, FPL Planner introduced me to the Never Buy Again list, and I do have that list. I use just notes on my phone, and I'll add players on that list or people that players that I'm considering to bring in. And this time around, I didn't because my process, my system of doing FPL or planning FPL or, making my transfers was completely out of whack because I was, first of all, not in my city. So I was in Canberra. I'm going to blame it on Canberra because Canberra. But also, I was out with some fantastic FPL managers and I was under the influence of some alcoholic beverages as well. So it is what it is. I don't regret the decision because, like I said, it's a lottery, bought a lottery, getting 5 games, 5 matches out of Jackson over 3 game weeks. So, and he's getting the minutes. He's playing. So, yeah, hopes for the best. Hopes for the best. All right, we're almost hitting like the hour mark. I'm going to leave it there actually. So look, that's where I'm at with my team and captaincy. So captaincy is an interesting one because I've not been captaining Haaland over the last couple of game weeks just because, there's been other, good captaincy options. And this game week as well, I feel like there's some really good captaincy options again. And so, I am tempted by Saka. I think, again, like home fixture, Bournemouth have been, pretty leaky as well. I just think it could be a really good game week for Saka. And of course, like Palmer's a really good captaincy shout again as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure. It just depends, actually. So if Palmer gets some returns in the last fixture of this game week, then, yeah, maybe I'll think differently about it. Again, I feel like Given that there's only one game week to go, there's just so many, there's just so many options. And Foden's a really good captaincy shout as well, just outside of the pen takers, and given Haaland's minutes as well. Like, actually, I'm not sure what Haaland's minutes are going to look like. And Thomas, thanks for joining. Is there an option to captain Foden this week? Yeah, it is tempting because, he got rested. He's probably feeling super fresh. Hopefully got over whatever illness or whatever he had. Could be a really good option. The other option, despite it being an away match, is Isak, who's also on pens and just is on terrific form as well. So I'd be very, very tempted to go Isak as well. So, geez, that's like 4 or 5 different captaincy options, like four really good captaincy options between Saka, Haaland, Isak, and Palmer. And I really don't know where I'm going. Who are you captaining? Like, let me know in the chat who your captaincy is on. Are you tentative about the captaincy that you've picked? Or what are your top 2 sort of captaincy choices for this upcoming game week? As always, please do like and subscribe. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been 35 game weeks, and it's been a wonderful journey so far, just sharing my, journey with you all. And it's been great sort of chatting to you. It's been very rambly, so I do appreciate you guys being patient with it as well. And very much off the cuff. So please do like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I've had quite a few people that have found me just randomly on YouTube, so not even on X, and it really did start for me for, joining the FPL community via, Twitter X. But it's been a lovely journey, sort of, bumping into and making friends via YouTube as well. So really do appreciate it, and it all helps as well. So thank you again. That's pretty much it. It looks like Haaland captaincy. So Tien, you're going with Haaland, but not locked. Yeah, so this is the predicament, I guess. Captaining Isak, Pitar. Yeah, completely agree. Really good shout there as well. So good luck, everyone. Really hope it's a great game week for you all and you get a green arrow. I'm currently on a green arrow for this game week, so I hope the final, match of this game week gives you a green arrow as well. Good luck with game week 36, and I'll share my final team probably on X on Saturday. So take it easy. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you guys in the next one next week. Take it easy again. Thanks. Bye.